Welcome to Ping 24 Updates, your daily dose of what's happening around the world. Subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. Tonight, we turn to a remote corner of the world, Batanes, a Philippine province closer to Taiwan than Manila. Once a quiet paradise, Batanes now finds itself at the center of rising US-China tensions. The island's strategic location has thrust them onto the world stage. For centuries, the Ivatan people lived by the rhythms of the sea and wind. But now, military drills and strategic calculations are changing daily life. The US and the Philippines see Batanes as a critical piece in the security puzzle of Asia. The islands offer a strategic vantage point, a potential outpost in any future crisis. China's growing military ambitions and its claim over Taiwan have made Batanes a focal point. A conflict over Taiwan could disrupt global trade and draw in major powers. Suddenly, the fate of these small islands matters to the world. The story of Batanes is about geography, power, and ordinary people caught in the middle. It's a microcosm of global competition, alliances tested, military power projected. The world is watching what happens here. The future of Batanes could have consequences far beyond its shores. As the giants maneuver, the Ivatan people brace for an uncertain future. The quiet life on these islands is changing fast. Let's zoom in on the map. Batanes sits in the Luzon Strait, a vital waterway connecting the South China Sea to the Pacific. Thousands of ships pass through each year, making this one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. Control of the strait means control over a global trade artery. Batanes' proximity to Taiwan, just 120 miles, puts it within range of military action. In a Taiwan conflict, Batanes could serve as a forward base for surveillance and rapid response. For the US and its allies, access to Batanes is a strategic advantage. The Luzon Strait is also a gateway for China's navy to the Pacific. Chinese warships regularly pass through, conducting drills and testing boundaries. By increasing its presence, the Philippines, with US support, can monitor and potentially block Chinese movements. This makes the strait a potential choke point in any crisis. Batanes has been called an unsinkable aircraft carrier, a permanent immovable asset. Its strategic value is no longer theoretical, it's real and immediate. The islands are waking up to their new role in a global power struggle. Geography has made Batanes a giant in strategy. The world's attention is now fixed on this tiny archipelago. The stakes have never been higher. Change is visible in Batanes. New construction, more soldiers, and a growing military presence. The Philippines and the US are deepening cooperation under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement. Batanes is now a key focus, with joint military exercises becoming routine. Drills simulate amphibious landings, air assaults, and coastal defense. The message to China is clear. The US is committed to defending this strategic location. Infrastructure upgrades are underway. Basco's port and airport are being expanded for larger military and civilian use. New radar stations and surveillance posts are planned, giving better visibility over the skies and seas. The Philippine military is establishing a naval detachment on Mavulis Island, just a short distance from Taiwan. A permanent presence there signals Philippine sovereignty and readiness. The once quiet province is now part of a larger defense network. The sound of helicopters and military trucks is the new normal. The islands are being transformed into a forward outpost. The buildup is rapid, and the stakes are high. Batanes is no longer isolated, it's on the front line. The Philippines is serious about defending its northern border. The world is watching how this transformation unfolds. The future of Batanes is being rewritten. For the Ivatan people, the military buildup brings both relief and anxiety. Some feel safer with the presence of Philippine and American troops. They hope the government's attention will deter threats and protect their way of life. But there's also deep unease. Batanes could become a target in a US-China conflict. The island's transformation into a military outpost is unsettling for a peaceful community. The risk of being caught in the crossfire is real. Concerns about the impact on culture and environment are growing. Batanes is famous for its unique landscape and strong community ties. The influx of soldiers and construction could change the island's character. Environmental damage and loss of cultural identity are real fears. Some welcome new jobs and economic opportunities, but others question the cost. The community is divided. Security comes with a price. The conversation in markets and coffee shops is filled with uncertainty. The Ivatans are navigating a complex new reality. They want security, but not at the expense of their heritage. The future feels uncertain as the world's tensions arrive at their doorstep. Batanes is balancing hope and fear for what comes next. The buildup in Batanes can't be separated from the Taiwan question. Taiwan faces constant threats from China, which vows reunification by force if necessary. The US maintains strategic ambiguity, but is bound to help Taiwan defend itself. Batanes' location makes it a perfect staging ground to deter or counter a Chinese invasion. From here, US and Philippine forces could control the Luzon Strait, complicating China's plans. Intelligence and surveillance from Batanes would provide early warning of Chinese moves. A secure Batanes raises the cost of any attack on Taiwan. The US is investing in the Philippines to strengthen this deterrence. The alliance sends a powerful signal to China. The region stands together. The global stakes are enormous. A conflict over Taiwan would disrupt the world economy. Taiwan's semiconductor industry is vital. War would trigger a global crisis. The risk of US-China confrontation is real and dangerous. By securing Batanes, the US and Philippines aim to prevent catastrophe. The islands are more than a military outpost. They're a line in the sand. The world is watching, hoping deterrence holds. The fate of Batanes is now tied to the fate of Taiwan. A key strategy in Batanes is building dual-use infrastructure, serving both civilian and military needs. Upgrades to Basco's airport and port will boost tourism and trade, but also allow rapid military deployment. Larger runways and deeper ports mean both commercial and military planes and ships can operate here. This approach makes the buildup more acceptable to locals and sustainable long-term. US training for local responders helps with both disaster relief and crisis scenarios. Framing projects as civilian benefits builds public support for the military presence. Dual-use development blurs the line between defense and progress. Batanes is becoming stronger and more resilient on all fronts. The Philippines is shifting its security focus north toward Batanes and the Taiwan Strait. President Marcos Jr. recognizes that a Taiwan conflict is a direct threat to national security. Over 150,000 Filipinos work in Taiwan. Batanes would be key for any evacuation. Securing the Luzon Strait protects vital trade routes and the Philippine economy. A war over Taiwan would disrupt commerce and bring refugees to Philippine shores. Geography means the Philippines can't avoid being drawn in. The government is strengthening ties with the US to prepare for any crisis. This pivot north is about survival, stability, and protecting Filipino lives. Batanes is now central to the nation's defense strategy. China views the US-Philippine buildup in Batanes as a direct threat. Beijing has condemned the moves, calling them provocative and warning of consequences. Chinese warships and Coast Guard vessels now patrol the waters near Batanes more frequently. The risk of miscalculation or confrontation is rising. China also uses economic leverage, warning the Philippines that closer US ties could harm trade. Beijing's strategy combines military intimidation with economic pressure. The goals sow division in the Philippines and weaken its alliance with the US-China, portrays the American presence as dangerous, not protective. As the military footprint grows, so does China's effort to counter it. The Luzon Strait is becoming a flashpoint in a high-stakes rivalry. The future of Batanes hangs in the balance. For the US, the islands are a linchpin in deterring China and reassuring allies. For the Philippines, the alliance offers security, but also makes it a potential target. Manila must navigate between US protection and Chinese pressure. Will the buildup bring stability or spark conflict? Proponents say strength deters aggression, critics fear it provokes it. For the Ivatan people, these debates are distant, but the consequences are immediate. Their home is now a pawn in a global game. The transformation is real, lives and landscapes are changing. Batanes is a reminder that great power competition is not abstract. The fate of these islands is now tied to the fate of Asia. The world is watching what happens next.